So this is a webcam. Probably one of the most popular streaming webcams out there. Like one of the most popular webcams among streamers is the Logitech C920. Logitech. It's Logitech, isn't it? Logitech C920. Now, this can also be used as a webcam. This is my Canon EOS R. I did a whole video on how to use this as a streaming webcam. Amongst other mirrorless cameras such as the Canon M200, the Canon M50, M50 Mark II, even the Sony ZV-E10, Sony a5100. You've got such a wide range of mirrorless cameras. Now this is a really high-end mirrorless camera. It's about £1,800 RRP, I think. I don't know if it's less than that right now with the price drops and whatnot. But yeah, that's how much this camera costs. £1,800, £1,800. This is a £50 camera. So if you were to go out and look to buy a camera, you could either buy one of these, which is like £50, £60. I don't know how much it is now with scalping and stuff like that. Or you could get something like this, which is £1,800. Or if you've already got one of these, you could use that. However, there is something else in your pockets right now. Well, it's actually on my desk for me, but it's this. It's a phone. The phone in your pocket can be probably the best webcam that you have access to without spending a single extra penny. Now, you might have to spend a couple of pounds, but you've already got one. Everybody does. This isn't an extra cost. It's not an extra purchase that you're making. This is an extra purchase. This is an extra purchase. But if you're going to be streaming and you want to use something with minimal cost without any extra purchase, probably the best thing that you've got access to is the phone. And this in particular is the iPhone 13 Pro. And I'm really excited to see how this works as a webcam. So we're going to hit that intro and then we're going to have a look at the iPhone 13 Pro as a webcam in comparison to a full frame mirrorless camera and the most popular streaming webcam on the market. What's up guys, Character back at your screens and back with another fantastic tech video, especially aimed at you streamers out there or anybody who wants to get a webcam for whatever need that you want. So that might be for your work meetings. You know, a lot of people are working from home now, so work meetings, Zoom calls, MS Teams calls, streaming, live streaming, whatever it is you want to do with it. If you need a webcam, you've got this in your pockets, especially iPhone users. This video is primarily aimed at iPhone users. I'm sorry, Android users. I'm using an iPhone right now, and this is to test the iPhone 13 Pro as a webcam, not the Samsung S21 or any of those cameras. Phone cameras. iPhone 13 Pro, none of the others. So, what we're going to do is, I'm not going to go through the step by step on how to set this up as a camera, because the app you're going to be using for this is Epoch Cam. You're going to need Epoch Cam installed on the phone, and I've got an entire video of how to get, install, and use Elgato's Epoch Cam app on your iPhone and on your Mac or Windows machine or whatever it is, for an entire video. Link up here in the corner. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes. Go hit that link, see how to do all of that first, and then come back, and then you can see how the iPhone 13 Pro performs as a webcam. Now, firstly, we're going to talk about the quality of just the iPhone 13 Pro. I mean, look at it here. It is absolutely fantastic. Wow, that is so crisp. Like, it's such high quality. I'm using it in a room with my usual kind of lighting. So this is the kind of lighting that I would generally set up if I was to stream or hold a Teams meeting where I need to turn my camera on or anything like that. Zoom meeting, team meeting, whatever it is you want to call it. This is the kind of lighting and this is the environment that I would have. Now, please excuse the slightly untidy background. I am shuffling things about a little bit just to try and make this room a little bit more studio-like. I'm doing some minor upgrades, so do forgive the kind of slight untidiness in the background, but look at that picture quality. It is absolutely amazing. Obviously, the iPhone 13 Pro has a fantastic camera with slightly larger sensors now this year in comparison to the iPhone 12 series, and the Pro is absolutely amazing. You can zoom into 2 times, which I would not recommend because you can see every single pore on your face if you do that, or you can zoom out to an ultra wide angle. Now you guys have seen my entire room, so you have those 2 options. You have the option of also using the front facing camera. So here it is with the front facing camera. You can see that the quality is not massively different. It is slightly less. Just the fact that the front facing camera has fewer megapixels has obviously got a smaller sensor to it, but the quality is still amazing. Like it's so good. It's mind-bogglingly good when you think about the fact that this is always in your pocket. Now, we know that the iPhone cameras are fantastic. We know that they perform really, really well. Now, the fact that you can take that and use it for streaming and as a webcam is absolutely brilliant. Why would you need to buy another webcam? You can see here you've got such a crisp quality image. However, there is one thing that I don't like about this, and it is the fact that there is no bokeh in the background. Like, everything is in focus, and I really don't like that. Now, if you've seen any of my previous streams, or if you've watched my videos, then you know that I like that bokeh in the background. I love that crisp, blurry background look in my streams, in my videos even. But this camera is basically getting everything in focus, which isn't a bad thing. It depends on what your background is like. My background tends to be a little bit more messy. My backdrop is a bit more messy. I do have the option of kind of adding a black curtain or green screen or something like that behind me to just cover all of that up, which isn't a big issue. But for anybody else, if you want to show off your background because you've got something nice in there, then this isn't really a downside. It's quite good. Now, for those who don't want to show your background off, just like you can in programs like Zoom or Teams, you do have the option of adding an artificial blurry background. Now, you can see here that I've added that in. However, you do get that really weird haze around you. You can tell it's fake, it's not real. Everybody who's going to see your streams, they're going to know it's fake, which it's not a bad thing, but it is artificially induced. It's not a proper bokeh. It's AI fixing your focus on you and then blurring everything else in the background. Now, it's not the worst example of an artificial background blur, but I personally just don't like it. So that is the one caveat I have with using the iPhone 13 Pro or using an iPhone as a camera. You do get pretty much everything behind you as well as you in complete focus. It is what it is. Now, all of that being said, the quality is still amazing. It looks nice and crisp. It's getting the colors right, and even if it's not, you can tweak those in OBS and make it look how you want, make it look better for you, make it look the way you want it to look. If you're going to be using this as kind of a gameplay cam, then that's absolutely fine, because it is going to be in that corner of your video, in corner of your stream, where you're going to be just kind of capturing your reactions, showing your face. If you are going to be using it as a just chatting camera, then definitely make sure you have a much nicer background than what I do, because it is going to be having everything in focus. Now, obviously, I've said several times, it is fantastic quality, but how does it compare to not the best, but the most popular on the market, which is the Logitech C920 and an £1,800 full frame mirrorless camera. Now, this is obviously almost twice the price of the iPhone 13 Pro, and this is less than 5%. I think it's about 5% of the price. 10% would be about £100, 5% is 50. So it's about 5% of what an iPhone 13 Pro would cost. Now, that's obviously just a comparison of the price of the devices. You're not going to go exclusively buy an iPhone 13 Pro to use as a webcam, so you're going to have that anyway. The only cost you might incur is buying the Elgato Epoch Cam Pro app, which basically gives you additional features like being able to put out a 1080p 30 feed and a few additional things here or there. So it is probably worth the £8 or $8 or whatever it is that you're going to spend getting that, compared to getting a £50 camera or even a £2,000 or £1,800 camera, whatever it is. If you add the lens on, then it's about £2,000, 2,000 something pounds. So, do the math. It might be more worth it. We're going to find out exactly how it looks. So now there is 3 cameras, so this does look a little bit weird, but at the top there I have got the iPhone 13 Pro feed, and at the bottom left I have got the webcam feed. So by webcam I mean the Logitech C920 feed, and the bottom right is the feed from the Canon EOS R. Now, these were filmed separately just because I wanted to get the position exactly the same for all 3 of them as to what I would have it mounted for when I am using it as a webcam, and that's basically being in the same position, and I can't mount all 3 of them together. So they are separate feeds, but they're from the same position under the same exact lighting and using the same kind of settings that I would use them as live. For the mirrorless camera, the EOS R, I do have it set to 1080-60 output with a shutter speed of 1/125, f-stop of 1.8 because that's the one that looks the most natural to me, and an ISO value of about 1000 because that's the one that works the best. So with that, it's not technically out of the box, but for the iPhone and the webcam, it is out of the box settings, technically out of the box settings, default settings if you want to put it. Now, right away, you can see the clear winner here is the EOS R, just because it is fantastic. It gives you that massive crisp quality focus on your body, and the background is nice and blurred because of that low aperture. The iPhone 13 Pro, however, is probably, I would say, just as good. Actually, looking at it for a second time, you can see that the iPhone 13 Pro probably rivals what the mirrorless camera is outputting, and that is amazing. The clear loser in this case is the webcam. It's really washed out. It's not as nice and crisp, even with the same lighting conditions. It's not as nice as any of the other two, but that definitely makes sense. This is a £50 camera going up against a £1,000 phone and an essential £2,000 camera rig. So your clear winners are there. Now, does the iPhone 13 Pro hold up? It's definitely more worth it than getting a webcam. It's much more worth it than getting the C920 or probably any other webcam out there, because it just looks so good. It's crisp, it's clear, it's clearly very high quality, and you're not getting the same kind of issues that you're going to get with a webcam. The lower quality sensor in the webcam versus the much higher quality sensor in your iPhone, the iPhone clearly wins. Now, if I'm going to put it personally between the iPhone and the EOS R, the EOS R wins for me. Now, I already have the EOS R at hand because I use it for a lot of my content creation and professional work. So for me, it makes sense to have that camera and to use it as a webcam as well. However, if you don't have access to a camera like that, or if you're not a full content creator where you use a mirrorless camera for all of your content, and you're primarily a streamer, you want it for streaming or as a webcam, then using your phone is definitely the better option here, because the quality is near similar. The one downside is that the iPhone doesn't give you that natural background blur, and the camera does. The camera, you can change the focal length much more freely by changing the lens. The iPhone 13 Pro, you can't. But does that mean that the iPhone 13 Pro is any less of a competitor in terms of using it as a webcam versus the mirrorless camera or versus the EOS R or any mirrorless camera out there? Definitely not. And that's all I can really say. iPhone 13 Pro, guys, definitely performs as a webcam very well in comparison to the Logitech C920 and the Canon EOS R. One very cheap webcam, one very expensive mirrorless, professional level mirrorless camera. I'm going to leave it at that, guys. I've left links to the Epoch Cam app down below, so if you do want to get that, make sure you do go and grab it and use it for your iPhone. So if you did enjoy that, guys, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. It means a lot to me that you guys are watching my videos. If you guys want to see the tutorial on how to set up your iPhone as a webcam, then make sure you hit this link right here. Until next time, guys, this is Kai24 signing out.